Alright, so this is part 3 of how to get banned from YouTube. Let's see. So, my dude was at a refugee camp outside of Mariupol. I've interviewed several people. First couple of people that he interviewed was a mother and a daughter, just asking them about conditions in the camp. They said it was actually pretty nice. They had heat, fuel, food, whatever they needed. Hold on, my camera is bugging me right there. Let's see, because my bookshelf is new. Okay, so yeah, he was checking the status of the refugees in the Russian and DPR held camp outside of Mariupol. Again, they had food, water, heat, whatever they needed. The Russian government was helping them process out, which meant, if they wanted to go to Russia, they were, documenting them and getting them into Russia. And if they were wanting to go to Europe, then they were trying to get them into Europe too, but it's not really something that's working right now. And they interviewed another couple of people, a mother and a daughter. That's a theme in this camp, is mothers with their children. Ask them, how are the men treated in this camp, because the men are kept outside of the camp. It's women and children inside the camp, men in a separate location up at the road. And they said the men come in, they get food, they get water, whatever they need, warm up at the stove, all that stuff. But they actually have to spend the night outside the camp. It's only women and children inside the camp. And that gave me hope, because, comparatively, looking at this camp outside of Mariupol, it makes the U.S. border camps actually look like legitimate concentration camps. It does. And then he interviewed another woman who... This story actually kind of broke me. She had sent one son, the oldest son, off about a month ago into Europe. Recently got confirmation that he made it to Europe, so good for him. She stayed sheltered in the basement of her complex with her other son for a month. And he asked her why did you wait a month before you sought refuge? And she said that they weren't allowed to go outside. So the dude asked for clarification on that. And she said that Azov, which of course, it's Azov. Everything is Azov in this war, guys. Everything is Azov in this war. Were patrolling the streets, and if they saw any civilians out, then they would shoot at their legs to try to disable them. And at the same time, if anyone tried to leave not only their basement, but to leave their village, to go to the city or anywhere, to try to do anything at all other than shelter in place, they would come under fire by the Azov battalion. And he clarified, was there anyone who, from the Ukrainian side, that tried to evacuate citizens? And she said, no, they didn't offer to evacuate us. There was no plan to evacuate us. They just called us heroes and then left us to fight barehanded and to fend for ourselves and feed our children and find our own fuel for heat and all that stuff. They never even offered a path out. Like Kiev never offered a path out for civilians, and Azov was actively killing civilians for trying to leave. And it was only after Russian and DPR forces had taken her neighborhood that they came to the basement, checked what was going on, and said, look, we took this neighborhood right now, but they're going to come back and fight harder This is about to become a battlefield. Your neighborhood is about to become a battlefield. You're going to have to get out of here. We have a route out of the city right now to this refugee camp, which is where she was when she was being interviewed. And everyone agreed it was actually good conditions. I mean, certainly far better conditions than living in a basement surrounded by corpses under fire from your own government and military. They're like, yeah, this is far preferable. Far, far preferable. And then dude was with a sweep team in Mariupol. Which a sweep team is so general forces finally force whatever enemy combatants are in an area to retreat, and then the sweep team goes in to secure the area, disarm booby traps, things like that. And he was with the sweep team during this push in one of the districts of Mariupol. And they're at a school again, because we just talked about that 2 videos ago, about a school that they fitted into a forward operating base. And they go in after Azov retreats, and they find everything that you would expect in a forward base. There were weapons. The weapons cache had been set on fire to try to destroy them, so Russian and DPR forces couldn't take them. There were Ukrainian flags everywhere. There were military uniforms everywhere. Everything written in Ukrainian, the names, the badges, everything. And the badges were for anti-tank specialists and Ukrainian National Guard. And in this burned out basement, I'm going to let you guys know now this is actually a trigger warning, because this is about to get graphic. Like more graphic than this war already was. But they go into this basement, and they're disarming booby traps and looking through material, and they find a civilian woman. To me, she looked Greek, so she could have been someone from one of the suburbs like Sartana. And they had used her, taken turns using her, mutilated her, and they actually painted a crooked X on her stomach in her own blood. I don't know if that happened before or after she died, but every day I'm seeing more and more what this segment of the military in Ukraine is. And they truly are just bloodthirsty. They have no ethics, no principles, no nothing. They are just, they're insane. They are insane. And that actually goes back to that woman who said that every time that she would come out of the basement, if they were in the area, they would open fire on her. She said that they were zombified, like doped out. If you're from suburban and rural areas, you know what I'm talking about. Just probably methamphetamine. I mean, once a tiny mustache, always a tiny mustache. I guess they're using the same drugs. But they're just... they need to be dealt with. At the very least, they need to be dealt with. I can't imagine the mindset that a person who does those things has to have. And I guess I'm thankful that I can't even imagine having a mindset like that. But these are genuinely evil people. Like, genuinely evil people. And Western media is just trying to pretend like it's not even happening. And more often than not, we're blaming it on the only people in this situation who are trying to help civilians, while lauding this group of people. And you can't tell me that nobody else in Western media has seen these interviews. You can't tell me that. I know that the people who are at the top of mainstream broadcast media have to know this stuff too, because I know it. I can find the videos. I can find the people. I mean, granted, I used to be a journalist, so I know like how to fish that stuff out, but I didn't even look particularly hard when I was trying to refine this guy. So I'm certain that broadcasters and mainstream media have also seen these videos. They've also heard these interviews. They know what's happening. And they're just pretending it's not. And when they can, pretending like it's somebody else doing it. Even though they know full and well that it's the people we're backing. And I thought that the situation with the soldiers and the boys in Afghanistan was bad. Boy, was I wrong. I'll let you guys know when he does another update, and then I'll update you. But as far as the situation goes, there is nothing that is going to be fixed in this conflict until the members of the Azov movement, the Azov militias, the Azov battalion, until those guys are completely dealt with, nothing in this conflict is going to get better. Be vigilant. I'll see y'all in a couple of days.